Which camera is best is a question I get asked a lot. Trust me, it's a lot. Which camera is best? Well, it's not so much which camera is best, because there are so many awesome, amazing cameras out there on the market. It's a case of which camera is best for you. Which camera works for you? Now, before we go a little bit further into this, I just want to share something I got as a message or an email. I can't remember how I received this, and if you're the person who wrote what I'm about to read out, I apologise for not noting your name. I don't know how I've lost it, but this is so poignant and so relevant. Hey Mike, I play guitar, not well, but I play it because I like the noises I make. I also take pictures for the same reason. The difference is I want to be a better photographer. I had a friend who also wanted to play guitar. He went out and bought a Les Paul that cost him £4,000 to learn on. 6 months later, he sold it for $2,200 because he had damaged it by throwing it across the room in frustration one day. When I asked why, he said, I got sick of getting sore fingers, trying to play the music I wanted to play and failing. I spent all that money on this thing and it's crap. I told him that art is in the person, not the tools we use to create it. I would say it's the same way with photography. You have to work to get the art out, and the level of work you do reflects the standard of art you produce. I know people who have spent a lot of money on cameras that are gathering dust in cupboards because they gave up, finding that huge outlays of cash still produce snaps. The email goes on about some other things, but that is so totally relevant, and I do hope you can see that analogy for yourself. Spending a whole pile of money because a camera has more pixels, has more whiz-bang doodads on it, isn't going to make your pictures better. The pictures come out of you and are captured by the camera. They're not captured by the camera and given to you. It's the other way around. You've got to turn it on your head. So which camera is best for you? Well, you need to start asking yourself questions about what you want to do. Now, let's say you're the average hobbyist photographer who loves taking pictures, and you're really good at taking pictures. It doesn't really matter. What you've got to do is ask yourself, well, how much do I want to spend? What am I going to do with the images? You know, what's my budget? That's a good place to start. Don't go mortgaging your house and selling your children into slavery just because you want a better camera, you know. What are you going to do with the pictures? If your pictures are going to live on Flickr or, you know, in the computer, they get looked at on screen and that's about it, well, you don't need massive, huge, great, incredible quality image files. You can just have pictures from a phone that will do that. I did a bit of tutoring online with a guy in America who came to me. He said he couldn't quite get sharp pictures of birds. Now he was using very kind of like entry-level DSLR equipment. And I have to confess that in my own arrogance, I kind of thought, yeah, it's camera shake, it's something like that. And then he showed me the pictures. They're breathtaking pictures. They're breathtaking pictures. And he is one of those rare cases where he had hit the limitations of his equipment. He wanted to be able to get right in and sort of do crops and things like that, which weren't possible to get the camera necessarily that close to the bird, so he needed to crop. You couldn't quite get the definition in the feathers, etc., in as tight as he wanted to get, and that was purely down to his equipment. His skills were awesome. This guy was even building, he was putting in like tree trunks out in the woods behind his house for the birds to come and roost on, but he was thinking before putting in these environments for the birds to come to, where's the light going to rise, where's it going to set, where's it going to go, how am I going to set this up so I can get the best pictures before he even built it. That's dedication and commitment on a big scale, and I salute you, sir, because your images were awesome. And I apologise, I can't remember your name because we're going back a while now. The thing is, if you want to do that type of photography, or sports photography, for example, low light photography, you're in a big stadium, you haven't got much light, you're trying to capture movement, you're going to need very high ISO performance, you're going to need as much light coming up the lens as possible, you're going to need a wide aperture lens, then you are going to have to spend those bucks. But if you're putting them on Flickr, you just want to take some nice pictures, you want to go out in the morning, get some pictures of the woods, the park, the sea, the whatever, take some pictures of trains and cars and whatever takes your interest, you can get a good image out of pretty much anything. The key is to find the camera that works for you. Now this is getting harder as time goes on. In earlier films of mine, I always said, go to a shop, pick up the camera, play with it, make sure the knobs and buttons make sense to you. Now this is getting harder and harder and harder because high street shops are disappearing. It's all going online, but you can still do it. If you're a member of a camera club, have a go with other people's cameras. You've got a mate who's into photography, play with their camera. When you get the opportunity to look at someone else's camera, just say, you know, do you mind if I have a little go with that? The worst they can say is no, you know, it doesn't hurt, does it? Have a look at it, try it, just kind of see if it works for you, see if it's something that you like. As for the image quality, as in which is the best camera, I can't answer that question because it's which is the best camera for you. All cameras are great. So leading on from there, I'm often asked, why do you shoot Nikon then? Well, it's really simple. When I first bought myself a professional level camera, I bought a Nikon simply because someone I know had a Nikon. That was it. I kind of liked it, and I'm too lazy to go and do research about other brands. I thought, well, that takes nice pictures, buy it. Because I've got a Nikon, I guess this is called brand loyalty, I've stayed with Nikon. It's not necessarily because I'm in love with Nikon, it's because I've got Nikon flashes, Nikon accessories, Nikon bits and pieces, and they all fit Nikon cameras. I don't really want to dump all that and go and buy it all over again. I'm into taking the pictures, not necessarily the vehicle which I use to achieve them. And also, like Nikon cameras themselves, they're all different. I've got my old D300s, which I love. I just think they're splendid cameras. They're really, really great. But they are slightly older technology now. They do need updating. They have been hammered. So I bought a D600 to have a look at and try it out because someone on a workshop had one. I thought, yeah, it's pretty cool. I kind of like that. But actually, no, I've got the D600. I don't like it. There are things about the D600 I don't personally like. It doesn't mean it's a bad camera. It's an awesome camera. It just means that some of the controls, which I like to have as buttons on the outside, have been moved into a menu. That means I've got to press an info button and go to the menu to change those settings. If I'm shooting in a fast-moving environment, I don't want to do that. With the D300, I can just be running across the thing without looking, and my fingers know where those buttons are, and I can press and turn and twiddle on the move. I haven't got time to stop, and I'm not interested in stopping and reading that in the back of the camera. Also, I happen to be very dyslexic. I read horribly slowly. I haven't got time to be pondering where, I've pressed the wrong one. Oh, go back, it's in here. I haven't got time, you know? Now, there are people who've got their D600s and they love their D600s, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is an awesome camera. All I'm saying is it doesn't really work for me. If you're one of those people, you love your D600, it comes to bed with you in the evening, you pop it on the pillow and nestle it in nicely. It's really sweet and you snuggle down with it. It's all cozy and nice. Good for you. That's just fantastic, okay? But please, 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 people, stop worrying about which is the best camera. There isn't a best camera. There is a best camera for a certain type of thing, such as sports, low light, etc. If you want to print billboards, you're doing massive high resolution files that are going to be printed huge for an advertising agency. Yeah, you're going to have to spend the bucks. But for the average photographer, you don't really need to. Trust me, you really don't. What you need to do is to learn how to use what you've got. Photography is the other way around. It's not the camera gives you the picture and the settings you put on the camera create that picture. It's the picture actually tells you what settings to put on your camera, and your camera will faithfully record that, I promise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified each time we upload one of our cool photography videos, or for more great photo tips, workshops and training, come and see us at our website, photographycourses.biz.